Good morning. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Please let me know in the chat if you can't hear me. I think you should be able to hear me, and I think you should hear like a little bit of music in the background. I'm gonna do one quick check. We're looking at the BiomedRx page here. Well, actually, no, we're looking at my stream controls. Let's see. If you can hear me, everyone, I need you to go ahead on and chat and let me know. Uh, oh, wow. Here's the shareable link right here. Wonderful. All right. So let's share it to Facebook. Good morning, everyone. Feel free to call in 424-204-2382. Ask me anything. Um, I hope the link comes in well. If not, I'm going to manually share it. Comes in well. If not, I'm going to manually share it. Let's see if you can hear the music. Comes in well. If not, I'm going to manually. Perfect. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to go here. Now, we've got a poll here that I put up. Let's go to the community here. What kind of videos? Uh-oh. Look at that infinity here. No, I've got to get back to. Why does it keep that? So it's been a very productive week. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everyone is healthy and protecting themselves. It's been a very good week here. As you can see, we've been producing a lot of videos, and I'd appreciate a little commentary in the comment section about the videos that we've been doing and what direction you see us going in. With our productions. I've been doing a lot of combination videos here lately. And combining monatomic gold, you know. Let's see here. Let's see if I can start one of these videos. Actually, let's do this. Let's play the Holistic Health playlist. And it stops there. But if you click on the arrow, you can. I guess I got all of the hip hop stuff out of my system, and so I decided to start off with a nice mellow theme and a time lapsed sunrise for this particular video. I can't make any promises as far as what the results are, what the results are going to be with my experiments. I can just tell you I'm going to do the experiments and let you watch them and see what the results come out to be.
Here at the BiomedRx Health Center, we perform different therapies to help people find a higher quality of life. One of the therapies that we do is neurofeedback, also known as EEG biofeedback. I did another video about neurofeedback and brain training.
I like wearing
and if
scrubs.
Click here, you can see it and check it out. I go into the tenets of neurofeedback, what we do, the different modalities, infralow, alpha theta, and synchrony neurofeedback. Now today, I'm going to be talking about doing synchrony neurofeedback at a pretty high frequency while taking monoatomic gold, also known as Ormus. We're going to get into the details after this message from our sponsor. Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate free, gluten free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
That site is back up as well, BiomedRx CBD. So,
all right, now
you can order today.
Monatomic gold, also known as Ormus. You can find out a lot about Ormus if you look at a previous video that I did about monatomic gold. If you look at it, you can click right here if you want to see it.
So
Now,
I have a few
I'm
more of
gonna
these
go into a lot
combination
of really
treatment,
beneficial
combination
effects
therapy, and
from the
combination supplement
molecules
videos
that
to
it
do.
encourages the
Then we're going to get
right
more
hemisphere of the
into
brain
training
to
for
work in
biomedical equipment.
synchronization better.
Well,
So what we're
biomed
gonna do
training
today,
as
we're
well
gonna
as
give it a start.
biomagnetic pair
I'm
therapy
going
training,
to hook myself
and
up
also
for synchrony neurofeedback.
neurofeedback
When I
and
do the
brain
synchrony
training.
neurofeedback, I train at 50 hertz, which is the highest frequency available in the Signet software for this particular neurofeedback modality. And we're going to do it for 30 minutes
You
first
can always go and watch the
without
video. So I'm just going to
monitor,
click
without
forward
Ormus.
and
Then I'm going to give myself some
continue to
myotopical,
talk about
and we're
the work we've been doing.
Good morning, this is Devin Lockett, once again here at the BiomedRx Health Center. And this video is going to be about combining Haritaki with moldavite. All right, I've been getting a lot of feedback from people who watch the show and who are subscribers to our channel, and I really appreciate it. If you'd like to send feedback or any ideas that things that you would like us to talk about on this show, please send an email to info@biomedrx.tv. I really do appreciate your feedback. Now, today I have a special combination request from Mr. Terry Brown out in Dallas, Texas. Thank you, Terry. And I think you guys should look forward to his channel pretty soon. It's about combining moldavite with haritaki. Well, I think that's something that we can do, right? I don't think there's a direct combination between moldavite and haritaki, like as far as a mixture or anything like that, because moldavite is a tektite, and haritaki, of course, is a fruit, Caduca podi, from the Terminalia chibula plant in India, and it is something that you can take, you can ingest orally, and you can take it several different ways. So we are going to talk about how you combine both moldavite with haritaki as far as your lifestyle is concerned after this message from our sponsor. All right, so if you're going to be combining moldavite with haritaki, I would say that we are going to be taking and ingesting haritaki. I would have different suggestions for the morning and for the evening or for the afternoon, right? In the AM, I would suggest taking your moldavite and charging moldavite. How do you charge moldavite in the sun,
Sorry about the
right? So
feedback.
you take your moldavite and you sit it in the sun, okay? If you have to clean it, you can just cleanse it with water. But you sit your moldavite in the sun and you allow it to charge up, okay? So that's the morning recommendation for moldavite. What would be the morning recommendation for haritaki? I would say brush your gums with your fingers using haritaki, and that is the method for manifesting wealth. Okay. Um, if you absolutely insist, I will demonstrate here with just a little bit, right? Because I've already done my morning routine with haritaki. You just take a little bit of haritaki, and I've done previous videos about haritaki. You can see that if you click here. And I've also done a video about how to use haritaki to manifest wealth, which is what I'm about to demonstrate. And you can see that video if you click right here. And I've also done previous videos on moldavite as well. The original video about moldavite, you can can see it if you click it right here as well. I recommend seeing all of these videos so that you can understand a little bit more of the basis of how you should integrate Moldavite and Harataki into your life, you know, in general. So manifesting wealth with Harataki. Here you go. You rub your gums with it every day. All right. This is BiomedRx TV. I don't mind doing a little.
All right, keep it professional, people.
And remember, this is BiomedRx TV, so nothing that you see here should be construed as medical advice in any form. I am not a medical doctor, and if you have a medical condition, by all means, see your doctor. Now, that's what you do in the morning. What do I suggest you do in the afternoon? By all means, tape a piece of Moldavite when you go to bed to your pineal gland, to your third eye chakra, because Moldavite has the power to spin your chakras and to align your chakras. So you take a little bit of cloth tape, medical tape, okay? One of the benefits of working in healthcare is that I have an abundance of cloth tape here in the BiomedRx Health Center. You just place it here, and you tape it to your forehead, okay? And you may have to crisscross, right? Right? Or you can tape it to your crown chakra as well, okay? And go to sleep. All right? This is how.
Feel free to type something into the chat or to call in, and you can go live right now.
Align your vibration with the vibration of the tech type of the Moldavite. What can you do to go to sleep with Harataki? Now, there are a couple of videos that you should see. One is the scalp elixir. You can click right here and see that. And that's something that you should do to cleanse your brain of all of the residue from alcohol and drug abuse throughout your life and other toxins that you've absorbed throughout your life. And also you should take the lucid dreaming formula. You can find the lucid dreaming formula video if you click right here as well. And this is a mix of Harataki, DMSO, and
Happy Friday to everybody.
If you follow the instructions in that video, to help you have lucid dreaming, to help you sleep very well, and also to cleanse your digestive system while you're sleeping. So thank you, Terry, for that recommendation. I think we have a good video now as a result of it. And it is a good combination. If you're going to be enhancing your life using Moldavite, wearing the tech type Moldavite, and enhancing your ability to manifest wealth using Harataki, then those are my recommendations. Okay. Thank you for watching this video once again. And if you like this video, please remember to click the like button, subscribe to BiomedRx TV and to Devin Lockett, and suggest to your friends, comment, and share the videos. Also, if you'd like to provide us with a little financial support, that is appreciated. You can feel free to join us on Patreon at patreon.com/BiomedRx TV and patreon.com/Devin Lockett. And I'm going to be putting links below for our merch catalogs on Cafe Press as well as Teespring. And as always, I would like everyone to stay kind, because kind is the new sexy. Stay blessed and stay healthy. Thank you again for watching BiomedRx TV.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, this This is Devin Lockett here at the BiomedRx Health Center, and I wanted to share something with you, another holistic health tip. But actually, this is more than a tip. This is part of my daily regimen for just taking care of my health. And I think as we get older, we should all come to terms with our.
Feel free to call in if you have any questions. I'm just going over the most recent videos discussing the direction that we're going in production. We got a lot more scheduled for this week coming up. I actually want to be doing some more shooting today, but I have to force myself to take a break. I'm a workaholic.
Is that it inverts. It gives you a chance to, go upside down. This is a 60-degree angle. Now, of course, I can take the pin out and it'll go all the way up to a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to show you that today. I'm going to do that today. It's adjustable here, okay? So you can adjust it for your own height. You have to adjust it for whatever height you are. You have to secure your feet into the stirrups. You can actually add a little bit of extra padding. Sometimes I do that with a towel, okay? But what I really wanted to share with you is that you can really benefit your spine.
I think it sounds better if you just hear the audio of the movie and not the music that I had.
Okay, by placing the magnets here along the spine. Now here, in this part of the table, is an area that's heated, and it actually has a massage device built inside.
You know, I highly recommend getting one of these massage inversion tables.
Extra oomph, because I'm going to add my biomagnetic therapy.
If you want to call in. We can talk about whatever. Talk about what you got planned for the weekend. Doesn't matter.
From Spain, they're pretty expensive as far as biomagnetic therapy magnets are concerned. But I'm going to install these negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. And of course, we're going to speed it up so that you don't have to watch the process in real time, because it's going to take a minute to set up.
I hope this sounds good. I hope there's not too much feedback between my desktop speakers and my microphone and what you're hearing. Let me check and see who's watching.
Okay, now, you see we've set it up, okay? Negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. The magnets are going to increase the circulation, promote the circulation of your cerebral spinal fluid, as well as the blood in the spine and in the area of the spine. For people like me, I actually have scoliosis, so this is very helpful. And I'm going to still do the massage and everything else. We're going to do a camera check right now, and then we're going to get on and I'm going to show you how it's used. Okay, now we're going to get on. Okay, make sure it's nice and snug. Okay. You have the controls, you can set it. Turn on the heat. There's about 10 different settings.
I had to admit, that was kind of fun to do. That was kind of a fun video to make.
Now that's the first part of the inversion. Okay, so now we're going to go full tilt, 90 degrees. Okay. This is my favorite part. Take the pin off completely. This is the part I love. Full decompression of the spine. After a while, you get used to the blood rushing to your head. Inversion is also good for circulation. So for guys, as we get a little older and up in the years, it's good to practice. Not only for combating the effects of gravity and decompressing the spine. Okay, gravity does eventually win,
But I'm a timeless person, right?
In the meantime, but it's also good for your circulation. This is a very, very important part of my daily routine. Well, I'm going to continue hanging like this for a while, and I'm not sure if you want to watch me hang here like a bat for about a half an hour. But that's all I wanted to share with you about this video. If you like this video, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe to BiomedRx TV, and also subscribe to Devin Lockett here on YouTube. If you'd like to provide us with a little financial support or to see our Patreon exclusive videos, become a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/BiomedRx TV and patreon.com/Devin Lockett. And you can also check out the link.
Feel free to call in 424-204-2382.
Teespring.com. I'm going to put the links here on the screen. And as always, I would like everyone to stay kind, because kind is the new sexy. Stay blessed and stay healthy. Thank you for watching BiomedRx TV.
All right, we're going to mute the sound of that because I think we've got someone getting ready to call in. Like I said, if you like, please call in 424-204-2382. We're going to go live. We're going to go live through my cell phone here. I'm getting my gear. I'm going to order my gear so that I can take the... Actually, you know what? I think I can take the calls through the OBE software here. So I'll figure out how to make that work. I hope you guys like my choice for this video for the for the disclaimer footage. I also bridged it at the end. If you watch it all the way through to the end, hopefully it encourages people to watch our videos all the way through to the end. That's previous footage that I had taken during a previous career of mine as a videographer for designer Chia Keo, who also happens to be my son's mother. This is about the lucid dreaming formula. Feel free to make a comment in the chat box so that I know that you're here. Alrighty. Good morning. Thank you for calling in to.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Very well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Hang on, let me put it on speaker so I can hear you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Sorry about that.
No
I'm sorry
problem.
we couldn't get connected before. I've just been so busy.
No, I totally understand. You got a very busy schedule, just like I do.
I've got therapies and things like that I do, so it just mixes up into the schedule, and then I'm not sure when you're on. So I'm glad you contacted me this morning.
Now, what type of therapies do you perform?
Oh no, I don't perform any. I have to do therapy for myself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I had a brain injury a couple of years and a half ago, and so I've been just healing.
Okay. Wonderful.
So busy. But my questions that I had were referring to biomagnetic therapy.
Yes.
Where I live in Oregon, it's really hard to find.
Okay.
There is a gal, she's probably a little over an hour from me, which doesn't seem too far or whatever, but right now she's pretty limited, and I don't really drive very far by myself to go to therapies on a regular basis, but about 5 months ago I went and purchased some of the magnets because I had an old friend who was doing it in Denver, and so I've had a few treatments, and I thought, well, I really loved it when I had the treatment, and I just thought I'd try to follow up with some more treatment while I'm healing.
Yes.
Because my digestive tract is just pretty bad, so I just wanted to see if there was. I had some questions about your program. Your
Absolutely.
Your training sessions. Yes. I'd like to know more about your training sessions.
Okay, well, just let me know specifically what conditions you want to address, and then I'll try to focus my next few videos on those particular conditions. What I'm going to do immediately is weight loss. We're going to be doing biomagnetic pair therapy for weight loss, and you said you were talking about digestive issues.
Yes, and weight loss, but I think that has to do with the digestive issues.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, with digestive issues, we have several ways to approach it. We're going to start with the biomagnetic pairs for obesity, and then we're going to move into eating disorders because they're very closely related. So first we can attack the obesity directly, and then maybe we can get to the causes of the obesity as time goes on.
Okay.
But we can definitely get started with obesity, and I think that's a good one. And I mean not only obesity, but obesity and then digestive. I think that's a good direction for us to move into next. Now, as far as training, we usually do training here live at the BiomedRx Health Center every Saturday. With COVID and because of the size of the health center, I don't really know if that's going to be appropriate. Now, I do have a canopy that I can set up in the parking lot, and I do have a number of folding chairs. So I think we can do the training. I'm personally still capable of doing the training every Saturday. Now, if you are interested in attending, or I mean, people in Southern California, if you're interested in attending the biomagnetic paratherapy training live, you can go to meetup.com, or actually you can just contact us at info@biomedrx.com and express your interest, and then we can schedule you to come live. Those classes, what we do on Saturday, those classes are going to be filmed live. So as soon as, and I don't need an audience for that. I just need one person to come in and be my model, so that I could perform put the magnets on someone else. Because it's kind of hard, if you don't have a person to demonstrate it on. And I'm going to be streaming, just like I'm streaming right now. I'm going to be streaming live on YouTube every Saturday for our classes. So you'll be able to join us live for that.
Oh, that's great, because I know I can't travel that far.
No problem. And then and I'm also making, yes, and I'm also making. I'm going to be archiving them after I go live. I'm going to be archiving the classes on Patreon as well. So if you go to Patreon, you'll have access to a lot more of the training material than you would have access to on YouTube.
Okay. And what time were you thinking on Saturday? Have you thought of it, the time that you were going to do that?
I was thinking just 12 noon. Because it's really hard to get people to wake up early, especially on the weekends, and so I was thinking just having it for 12 noon. There are a lot of people who are also interested in CBD. We have our own brand of CBD oil, so we can do biomagnetic paratherapy and then finish afterward with a CBD workshop, training, educational workshop.
Okay, and will there be any fee for this class on the Patreon, or is it just the $20 a month thing?
That's all. Yeah, that's all. Just become a patron, and then it's available to all patrons on Patreon.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As a member. But I mean, if you catch it live on Saturday, then you can see it live on YouTube. It's just that once it becomes archived, then we'll make it only available to the Patreon patrons.
All right. On your Patreon site, do you have any specific disorders that you address? Because, I mean, I have one that I really like to address, and it's the acid reflux GERD, whatever you call it.
Acid reflux, okay. I'll make a note of that. Acid reflux and GERD. I actually used to suffer from acid reflux years ago, and I don't anymore. So I would also, when I do that video, talk about other things that you can do to put acid reflux behind you. So, okay, acid reflux and GERD, definitely. After weight loss, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the idea.
I'm trying to, so you're going to do the weight loss, obesity, eating disorders, and then you're going to do the acid reflux.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. And my other question, I wrote down the questions because I figured by the time I get on, I'd be able to have at least a list of questions for you. How many trainings does it take to help ourselves and others on your training program on Patreon?
Well, what I would say is if you have a therapy, if you have a protocol, right? The ideal way to do this is to have a scan done by a biomagnetic paratherapist. And what they would do is pass the negative pole of a magnet across different areas of your body and look for a response by muscle testing, by looking at the bottoms of your feet, right? As we know, the heart is on the left side of the body, so therefore the left hemisphere of the brain is a little bit more pronounced than the right hemisphere. And since the left hemisphere of the brain controls the right side of the body, then when we encounter a pathogen using the scanning magnet, the body's going to respond with tension, which is going to affect the right side of the body more than the left. And therefore, since the femur is the longest bone in the body, and the quadriceps and the muscles that surround the femur are the largest muscle bellies of the body, it would make your right leg appear to shorten in comparison to your left. And that's the basic way to do a scan and to find out, if a person actually has an issue and where to put the magnets. Now, in addition to that, a skilled biomagnetic paratherapist can also speak to your body and get an answer from your body if you have particular diseases or if you have ailments of particular organs or in particular pockets of what we call reservoirs in your body. Now, an even more skilled biomagnetic paratherapist can do therapy on you with another person's body present as an antenna. And I will admit that I'm not at that level where I can work on someone, remotely through through another person as an antenna, but it does work. It has to do with photons and neutrinos and something, but it's one of the magical concepts of magical aspects of energy healing and especially biomagnetic paratherapy. But in the absence of that, once you know where the magnets go, it's really, remember, the magnets are energies from the earth, and they're subtle but very, very powerful energies. And there is a particular point of getting acquainted, getting your body accustomed to the magnets, but it's an ebb and flow relationship. You don't want to use magnets on yourself every single day. You don't want to get it to the point where your body is so accustomed to the magnets that it's no longer effective. You want to hit it, I would say, once a week. And what you do when you're not applying magnets to yourself is really more important. What you really have to do is make sure that you're very well hydrated. It's going to be sending you to the bathroom a lot, right? Because your body's trying to discharge toxins. Your body's trying to clean itself, detoxify. And drink a lot of water. I don't know about you, but I love trail mix. So I eat a lot of trail mix, and I guess by default that kind of makes me a vegan because I can go the whole day. It's by default, right? It makes me a vegan. But it's a really good diet. It really is. Without getting too gross, right? It's just a cleansing, and it's a cleansing and a nourishing instead of just fasting, right? But fasting is ideal, right? Fasting is ideal. In fact, if you can fast for a couple of days and then, or try to make it up to 4 days, drink water, right? Water fast, and then reintroduce trail mix, nuts and fruits into your system and stay with that, right? I think that would be the ideal way to get the most out of your biomagnetic paratherapy in the fewest with the fewest sessions. But you just have to be very careful because when you are reintroducing meat into your system, You got to be very careful that it's clean, that it's well prepared, that it's cooked. You don't want to start introducing salmonella or any kind of pathogens into your body just as a result of eating meat. Then you're going to say, well, the magnetism worked when I was vegan, and then when I went back to eating meat. No, what you did was you reinfected yourself with
Right.
E. coli or whatever it is, right? That you were.
Right. Exactly.
Speaking of E. coli in particular, right? One good biomagnetic pair that you have, if you have two good magnets, you can count on some type of viral activity or acidity to be in the colon. I mean, that's just there, and you can count on the thymus gland. And I'm pointing to my thymus gland for those who are watching on YouTube, so they can see where I'm talking about. That
I can't see because I have my phone, so I can't look at your program at the same time.
well,
Sorry.
that's fine. No. Just imagine if you were wearing a necklace and the necklace had a pendant right where the pendant would be, right in the middle of your chest, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The thymus gland tends to be a reservoir for E. coli. So, as you know, we all tend to, we have some E. coli. We're supposed to have some E. coli, but not a lot. But that relationship, the relationship between the alkalinity of the E. coli, being a bacteria, and the acidity of the virus in the colon, is a very common biomagnetic pair. They hold on to each other. Remember, your body is like a bag of water, right? And as long as you're maintaining an average homeostasis of a pH of 7.35 or so, you can consider yourself healthy. But inside your body, you may have pockets of acidity and pockets of alkalinity. And the pockets of acidity and pockets of alkalinity actually use each other as a means or as an excuse to hold on to the body. And that's what we are depolarizing with the simultaneous use of positive and negative magnets during biomagnetic pair therapy.
So when you're using the magnet, say if you were to do the E. coli, the thymus, do the thymus in the colon area or
Yes.
whatever with the magnet,
Yes,
right?
yes.
How would you know to use the north and poles because of the tightening of the leg?
No, thank you for asking. That is a very good question. That is an excellent question. The red side of the magnet, the positive side of the magnet, right, is going to cause acidity and is going to lower the pH. The negative side of the magnet increases circulation, causes relaxation, and raises the pH or causes alkalinity. So you would place the red side face down on the positive side, face down on your chest, on the thymus gland, to lower the pH of the bacteria, the E. coli bacteria. And then you would place the negative right under the butt to raise the pH of the large intestine, of the colon.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And, I was reading Dr. Goet's book. I speak English and Spanish. I've been reading them.
Oh,
And,
yes.
yes, I've been reading. It takes me a while because of the brain injury, but I was interested about that. That's where my confusion has been, is about the negative poles and the positive poles. And I am learning about that, watching the videos and that many people have online, and of course yours. So just kind of learning where the placements are, and and each body is a little bit different. But that was one of my questions was, how do you know when you need to put a negative and a positive in those particular areas?
Now, when you're doing a scan, right? And in this particular instance, we know that E. coli is a bacteria and it's alkaline and but when you're doing a scan, you find the location. Let's just say you're doing your scan with the negative pole of the magnet, and you get a response, right? You get the foot reaction, okay? At that point, it's only a matter of finding where the pair is, okay? Because there are a number of biomagnetic pairs that are associated with that particular initial location. So let's just say you find a spot and you get a response and you see that that negative is there on that particular organ or that particular location, then it's only a matter of trying to find out at what other location to put the positive. Where is there a pocket of alkalinity that is allowing that acidity to remain in the body? And you can find that area, and sometimes you can find that area and it may make the reaction more intense. And then at that point, what you would do is flip the polarity of the magnets to see if the bottoms of the feet return to being even with each other.
Okay.
And then you just continue your scan until you find another location and another location and another location. And then once you have all of the pairs in place, then you just leave them there for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. You're further north. You're in Oregon, so I would give it 40.
Ask about the timing.
Yes. The timing has to do with the magnetic strength of the Earth at that particular point. And because the Earth is actually an ellipse, right? Because of the movement, because of the rotation of the planet, there's a lot more churning of the molten metals beneath the surface, beneath the crust of the Earth. And so therefore the magnetic field of the Earth is actually stronger at the equator, right, than it is at the poles. So here, where I am in Southern California, I would leave the magnets on in place for about 30, 35 minutes. But in Canada, it would take longer. And in Mexico or in Ecuador especially, it would take shorter. It would take much less time for the magnets to take effect. So what I would say, where you are in Oregon, just to be on the safe side, give it about 40, 45 minutes, 40 or 45 minutes. One good I have brain training devices like the Mind Alive David, and I use these devices because they have training sequences that are timed. So I use these devices sometimes as a means of timing the session, and also I would put magnets on the kidneys, usually both positive and negative, with the positive side being on the superior side of the kidney and the negative side being on the kidney itself. The positive side because you want to stimulate the adrenal glands, and the negative side is because you want to relax the kidneys themselves. And during the course of therapy, excuse me?
Is that both kidneys?
Both
Both
kidneys.
sides of the kidney?
Yes, both kidneys. Okay. The kidneys actually are good organs for biomagnetism. They respond very favorably to biomagnetism. I have a chat here. Really, Theon, thank you for joining us. How would you treat Morgellons or Lyme disease? I'm going to write that down. We do have a biomagnetic pair, Lyme's disease. We do have several biomagnetic pairs that address that disease, but I'm definitely going to have to make a show focusing specifically on that. But thank you for asking. Thank you. In fact, on future live shows, what I'm going to do is see if I can show the Excel, so we can actually start talking about specific pairs. But I have to set that up in this OBS studio beforehand. But thank you for asking.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. No, I just had questions, about it. Has anybody asked you yet about the COVID, the coronavirus slash SARS?
Yes, I have. I have gotten a lot of inquiries about COVID and SARS, and I actually had as kind of a sensitive subject because I actually had a video removed from this channel because of my suggestion of a particular substance that is a very good disinfectant, and it's also something that can be ingested and taken internally. But I don't want to mention the name of that subject or talk about that because I don't want the channel to be to get a strike or anything. But yeah, but if you go to my BitChute, if you go to my BitChute channel, no, I mean I am on BitChute. If you go to my BitChute channel, it's Devin Lockett, my personal name. It's not BiomedRx, but just go to BitChute and look for Devin Lockett. I think you can find it there. But we are taking precautions for COVID. I really don't want to feed into the hysteria. A lot of people are saying, well, you guys are a health center. Why don't you buy some boxes of masks and then start, selling masks $5 a piece and whatever. I think there's probably a greater risk of infection selling $5 masks than there is if I just left it alone, right? If I just left it alone. But with COVID is a virus, and viruses can be addressed. I wouldn't say to do biomagnetic paratherapy 100% for any condition, for anything. Now, there are people within this industry that would disagree with me vehemently, right? They would say, all you need is biomagnet, if a good biomagnetic paratherapist. And like I said, I'm the first person to admit that I'm not the most experienced, and I don't have the greatest expertise in the industry. I'm still a student myself, but I know that that biomagnetism is used in parts of the world where it's the only medicine that's available. And I'm glad that is available for those people. But, I am glad that we do live in the first world society. And being in the first world society, I don't have to tell you to disregard a diagnosis that was given to you by a physician because your feet tell me otherwise, right? If you have access to especially in the diagnostic realm, right? If you have access to labs, by all means, find out officially if you have something. It would save us a lot of time scanning with magnets, that's for sure. Find out officially, if you have something, and let us, we can narrow that. We can then narrow it down to the particular pairs that are most commonly used for whatever condition that you have.
Okay. Well, I don't want to take up all your time on your show or anything. But,
no, well, thank you for calling. You're our first caller.
Yeah, I had a scan about. I'm sure it's probably I have to go have it done again, but I'm kind of reluctant to go out of the area. But I had a scan done at one point, and so I got a printout of a bunch of things, so I kind of have an idea.
Great.
So I didn't want to bring those all up on the show, but I think what I could do is either text them to you, and if you decide you put them up on your Patreon, let me know.
Yes.
And you put any of those up. I really like to troubleshoot and know how to do that here from my home, since since my immune system's really compromised right now since the brain injury. I don't really travel much, and I don't go out to the area. So, and I went to seek some treatments, but I think I'm just going to hold off until things are a little bit better,
Yeah, better than text. Why don't you send me an email to info at biomedrx.tv. and just tell me list all of the conditions that you would like me to address, and I'll put them on the roster for upcoming shows.
Okay, great. That would be great. I'd appreciate that. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Well, you have a great day and stay well.
Wonderful. Have a great weekend and stay healthy.
Okay, thanks.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
That was good. So, and really, Theon, how would you treat Lyme disease? You know, I'm gonna see if I can make that available now. Probably not, because it's something that may need a little bit of let's see, Morogliones M. Morgellons. Yes. You would have to find the uh, find the translation into Spanish. I think that would be the best way for us to. I think that would be the best way for us to go. If you can, oh, here we go. Lyme enfermedad. Yes. Okay. Lyme's disease. Let me see if I can share. I'm trying to see if I can share my Excel window with you. Please bear with me. Thank you for your patience. No, I'm going to have to set that up. It's going to take me a little bit. It's going to take me longer. I can do it, but what I'm going to have to do is. Oh, wait. How about this? Here we are. Okay, so Lyme disease, Lyme enfermedad, right? Okay. So let's go over some pairs for Lyme's disease. I'm glad you asked me that question, and I think this is a very good opportunity for us to go over the pairs for Lyme's disease. Okay. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first pair. Okay. That's the hepatic ridge. That's the ridge of the kidney. All right. You see that? That's the first pair. Right? Can you see what I'm talking about right here? Costo hepatico right here. The negative and then the positive, right? Right there. All right. Now let's go back to the next pair. That's the first pair for Lyme disease. The second. All right. It seems to be kind of a little close, kind of close to the first. You can see that right here, right? A little further down, positive. And then further up, right on the liver as well, negative. Okay, and we're going to come back. Lyme disease. Right, once again. Costo hepatico. Okay. Now, I've got a pair of rare earth magnets that are super duper powerful. I don't even think the Gauss is measurable. So if you have Lyme disease, give me a call. Lyme disease. Okay. Once again, to the liver and the right kidney. You see? Negative on the liver, positive on the right kidney. Okay. You see? Negative on the liver, positive on the right kidney. All right. So thank you very much for your question. I hope I satisfied your curiosity. If you have any more questions, please feel free to call in. I'm going to be, discussing any, biomagnetic pairs that you would be interested in, and I'm going to be going live pretty frequently. So just, you can call in 424-204-2382 or text your question here like Reallythone. Thank you, Reallythone, for your question. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I hope you're satisfied with the answer. And I think this is good. Oh, we've got another call coming. Thank you for calling BiomedRx. May I help you?
Hey, it's Chris Emmons.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good. Did I miss your podcast?
No, you're live. You're on live right now.
Oh, well, thank you. I just saw, I was just checking my notifications on Facebook. So you invited me to give you a call. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to meet you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling. You're on right now. You're on live.
So you're focused on the brain effect?
The brain as well as the body. I started off. I opened this clinic to help my son to help recover my son from autism, and it is possible to defeat autism, but it is something that you have to do over a period of time. And with neurofeedback, we were able to really mitigate the effects of autism spectrum disorder. And then along the way, I discovered biomagnetic paratherapy. And I studied under Dr. Goyes, Dr. David Goyes, the son of Dr. Isaac Goyes, the same program. They're a wonderful family. And now I'm practicing biomagnetic paratherapy. And there's also a biomagnetism protocol for autism, which was also very helpful in helping me to recover my son as well.
There are many people that can benefit from your trail, so I hope you're documenting it well, and then when you're at the end of your work, you can make that available. I have a friend in the Ormus community, and she has twins, both with the autism, and she works with them all the time.
Really?
She uses Ormus.
Yes.
And she did notice a difference.
help. At first, they didn't want to take it, and because autistic children, they're very leery of new things. They're very
Yes, of
patterned.
course, especially when it comes to eating or drinking something.
And the milder form of the ormus is the one that you put into oil of your choice. And so she did make that. It's called live oil because you're taking the ormus energy and imparting it into the oil. And she did apply that to the bottom of their feet to begin with.
Wow. By itself?
Because you can explain about the feet.
Yes, but I would suggest if you're going to apply anything to the bottoms of the feet that you add a little DMSO, some dimethyl sulfoxide. That really helps carry things through the skin and into the bloodstream.
Can you share with folks what percentage to add? Because that's strong stuff.
Yes. Most people would probably do better with a 70% solution. When you purchase it, it's 99%. So I would try to, just do a little beaker science and measure 7 parts to 3 parts water and try to get it that way. It's fun. It's interesting. I hadn't had my Ormus yet, so I'm giving myself Ormus as we speak.
Along those lines, one of the things I did when I was living in the Florida Keys, I guess I was there for about 27 years, is I was asked to host a local television show. It's called Explore the Keys with Chris Emmons.
Mm-hmm.
And I took folks down the Keys in each episode and showed them things that the tourists don't see, the things that don't cost money. But before every shooting, they're all on YouTube under the same name, but before each shooting, I would take Ormus. Because when you take Ormus with an intention, it helps that intention to permeate stronger. And my intention was to not waste people's time,
Yes.
to give them information that was useful,
Yes.
and to present it in an engaging manner. And that's an awful lot for someone who usually lives in the left brain space.
Yes.
And the Ormus really helped. You can see, because people who know me, when they watch those, they would say, Chris, that's not like you. But the Ormus helped my intention to come to fruition.
That's very important. And, right now, we're at a very important point in science because scientists used to be presumed that all scientists were atheists, right? That you become so educated that you just stop believing in God. But now they're understanding, when they're talking about the particle versus wave theory and the fact that the experiment is observed having something to do with the outcome of the experiment. That means that your presence, your observation, your directed intention actually has is actually a physiological component in the experiment. It's actually a force. So that means that you have a soul and that directed intention, like you're saying, the same thing it's what we call prayer. Just like I was speaking with another client earlier about how skilled biomagnetic pair therapists can work on someone while using another person's body, work on someone remotely while using a person's body that's physically present as an antenna. And for diagnosis as well as for therapy, as well as for applying magnets for therapy, we're coming to the realization that all of these things that we previously thought only belonged to the spirit world are actually part and parcel of our physical reality, our metaphysical reality, and it's inseparable. It's an inseparable part of who we are.
Yeah, it is the as above coming down into the below.
Into
and
below.
We were given the divine spark
Yes.
of life
Yeah.
that enables us to access that. We always are in connection with it, but realizing it and utilizing it in our life makes a difference. And what you said is exactly what the old alchemists said, and is the difference between traditional chemistry and alchemy is the conclusion of the individual doing the work.
Really?
Their intentions, their way of being.
Really? The energy and the intention of the alchemist has to do with the outcome of the alchemy.
That's why they advise all alchemists and anybody who's collecting ormus or using any other processes that the old alchemists explain they're to be pure of spirit. They're constantly be working on their human side to elevate away from the ego and the things that the ego presents, such as desires and how to get it, and in a negative way, how to get it. And that the alchemist should come to the processes in a pure spirit. That's why you always should take a moment before you do any work and meditate to bring yourself to center. And that's why living in the reality we do, the 3D reality, that's why we light candles. That's why we burn sage. These are adjuncts to help us facilitate putting ourselves into that higher state of being.
Yes.
And
Incense.
before I do my work, I read the Emerald Tablet out loud.
Really?
Yeah.
The Emerald Tablet?
Yes.
I'm going to look that up. The Emerald Tablet.
Yes.
Okay.
Almost Academy has a page called the Emerald Tablet where it's right there for you and it's spoken about.
Really?
Okay. And it's a real nice, I uploaded a real nice version of it so that you could print it.
Thank you. Ormus Academy. Huh? Okay, I'm going to check it out. The Emerald Tablet. Thank you for that bit of wisdom. Yeah.
Welcome.
You know, I have been feeling that coming from inside since I've been doing this Ormus. I didn't know what that is, but it's like a slow evolution of a very solid core of character coming, bubbling up inside of me, where, every day in just more and more different ways, I'm shown to myself that I'm on a path of, I don't know if it's purity or I don't know if purity is the word or integrity. I think integrity is the word. From the moment I open my eyes until the moment I go to sleep at night, it's like walking a tightrope, right? That I stay in pure intention, and by staying in pure intention, it's almost as though I can live. It's very stress-free. It's a very calm existence, and I'm almost 100% guided by the sixth sense. Almost, I would say about 90, maybe 96, 97% guided by the inner voice, and it's good. I don't question it. I think the combination, huh?
What you are describing is what I call being the human that we are meant to be.
Thank you.
And it's hard for you to articulate that for anybody to completely understand unless they've experienced either for themselves or in their journey, in their life walk.
It is very hard.
It is, and you did a great job of trying to relay that.
Thank you.
I'm going to mention the physical aspect of being human that we were meant to be, and that gets back to what you talk about, the effects in the brain. Mm-hmm. If the brain is not working properly, then the thoughts that come out of it are different than if the brain is working properly.
Absolutely.
And when a human's brain is working properly,
mm-hmm.
we naturally feel connected to Source or All or God.
Yep.
These are buttons that can either turn people on or off. Just choose the one, the God of your understanding.
Yes.
We feel connected to it, part of it, and everything around us is also, we realize it's all part of a great tapestry that we're just part of.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get these different thoughts that you've articulated as peace, because peace comes from understanding. And when you understand this, then you just realize that this peace is coming from this innate understanding that's coming from your well-running brain,
Yes.
and giving you what we call insights and
Yes.
wisdoms that flash in. But this is what we're supposed to be. But we've been so distanced from it physically through the foods that we eat,
Yep.
and secondarily through society's life choices for us, such as telling us, they call us consumers, okay? We're not even people, we're consumers. And
Consumers.
so we're thrown into a matrix where we have to find a way to drag in money so that we can consume and buy things that are supposed to make us happy.
And there's no rest.
That's no rest.
No, there's no sense of being. You can't simply be. And we were put here by who or whatever created all of this to be, to simply be and exist and to be and to enjoy that experience of being. And we can't, because we're rats caught in that turnstile.
And Ormus helps with that, because
Yes.
it centers the brain to get it to run properly, and then we get wisdoms and insights. And sometimes they'll shock. You know, you'll realize, like, I look back, I was in Kmart, and I was about 4 back in line with my purchases. They don't have a lot of cashiers, because nobody has a lot of cashiers anyway.
I know.
So I'm going to be there a while, and I distinctly remember looking at everybody who was ahead of me and feeling so happy that they had the money to buy the things that they thought would make them happy.
Yes.
And being fourth in line never crossed my mind, because I was standing there feeling very content for them.
Yes, it was a celebration of abundance. You know where I really get the most intense high in that regard is at the airport. I love the energy of the airport on a spiritual level, because it's bittersweet. You do have people who are parting, lovers who are seeing each other off, people who are saying goodbye to grandma. But there's also that energy of anticipation, because there are also people arriving and there are family members that are there waiting for them. And all of that I can feel it when I walk through. I can be, traveling alone, go on a business trip, but just being in the presence of that airport energy, right? It really gives me a boost. It gives me a boost, especially in the places, like baggage, where people are actually, first reunited with the loved ones that they're waiting for, that they're there to pick up. And I'll celebrate that. I mean, I don't, I could be alone and not even feel a sense of loneliness, because I feel good that others are feeling that joy,
And if you take that down one more onion layer, I believe what you're experiencing is what I mentioned earlier, how you feel a connectedness
to the world and to the universe. Yes, yes.
We're all I'm part of what's going on in
Yes.
every person's life, even though I don't know the nuance of other people.
Yes.
I am them and they are me, and I'm
Your love is my love, and your joy is my joy. Your celebration is my celebration, and the fact that I can even, this is one of the things that Dr. Goyes talks about as an example of why it's possible to diagnose and treat someone using an antenna. If you get a phone call from someone with good news, hopefully, maybe bad, but whatever news about a common family member, that person could be on the other side of the planet from you, but you are now sharing that energy with them. And that's the same thing, right? Because we are all connected. Of course, you're going to recognize your connection more with a family member because you know them intimately, and because they may be sharing news about a common family member with you. But yes, that is what it is. And I'm now, for my YouTube audience, I'm now intensifying the Ormus I just took by rubbing haritaki on my gums. This is what is done by the gurus to manifest wealth. And I know what it definitely does is raise the oxygen level up to 300 or 400% in the blood and consequently in the brain.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's fun to do. This is my daily routine, so it's good to be able to share this online. And these are cheap things. I mean, Ormus is not expensive. You just got to find a good quality source. And Haritaki, the same.
Yes, and you can mention that you can collect it for yourself. One of the learning modules at Ormus Academy is Make Ormus Yourself.
Really?
Because every time that somebody learns how to make the Ormus, then we're that much closer to sharing it with more in the world.
Then I'm absolutely ready to start doing that. In fact, I would actually like to document the process of my learning how to make Ormus on videos, because I think that's a journey that people would follow me on.
Exactly. One of the resources that you can use to start on your own making is I have put out a 4-part series of YouTubes on making Ormus. And,
Oh, wow.
that's at the YouTube channel called Face 6, FACE, like face, and then ICS. It's called Discovery.
Face
Part 1, Part 2,
ICS.
and it's not, people are so used to having elevator speeches, but this is something that you want to have piece of paper, because we're going to go through each thing, and then you're going to see what you're doing, and I say why we're doing what we're doing. And so with your work, because I'm not a creator, I try to make content. It's really hard for me on YouTube to get it. So somebody did that for me, and so while it's good, you'll be able to make it more good. You'll be able to make it more everything. You'll put little inserts that I don't know how to do. And so I encourage you to get started there towards that, and then get with me, because I'd like to see it, and if you've got it, I'll endorse it.
Absolutely. If you could send the links to me, I'm gonna get started on that training right away. The email is info@biomedrx.tv, and
I will.
yeah, please, because I definitely want to get started, and like I said, I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna start teaching my audience how to make Ormus. I want to learn. I'm gonna go through the trial and error process, and hopefully my audience can learn from my errors.
And just like I tell folks, come visit me in Live Oak, Florida, and I'm here to assist.
Okay, Live
in any
Oak,
way
Florida.
that I'm able. Live Oak, Florida.
Okay, I used to live in Miami.
I was in the Keys. I moved to Live Oak in 2017.
Okay.
Because the thing is that your work in spreading the news, and my work in spreading the news, is that we're there to act as a bridge. We can't carry people over the bridge.
No.
Because there's too many people, and we're one. We can't do it. But we can assist, and then the individual must do their due diligence along the way, come back to us for more assistance when needed, and that way they walk across the bridge that we make available.
Yes. Yes. Now, in the future, BiomedRx we're going to be building a retreat out in the Joshua Tree. So we have our eye on some land out in the Mojave Desert, and we're going to buy maybe a 5 or 10 acre piece and put up a warehouse for a health center, and also some glamping sites, some tents and huts, so that people can come out and stay and have a retreat. And I think it would be a good place for us to do some training in person on making Ormus and introducing people to Ormus.
That's more useful spending of the money than the thousands that are spent to put on a conference.
Oh, absolutely.
That can be a destination point for vacationers with
Absolutely.
their pop-up trailers or their tents.
Yes.
And that's something that Barry Carter always wanted to do, but never had the financial resources to make that happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of good land out for sale in the Mojave Desert, and the thing that's important is that they're bringing electricity and plumbing and everything out. So the trick is to get a spot that's next door to someone who already brought the utilities, so that at least you don't have to pay for too many electric poles and too much infrastructure brought out to you, because you have to pay for that. If you're the first person using electricity or plumbing or whatever, you have to have it brought from whatever the nearest junction is to your land. But once
I
those,
understand. I
yeah,
bought a few acres up here. It's all forest.
you know what I'm
And
talking
so
about. Yeah.
I not only brought in the power, but I wanted to keep the visual beauty of the forest, so I paid the extra money to have it laid under the ground.
Oh,
So
nice.
you pay every foot for the line and then more for laying, and it does. It adds up, and we need somebody who has the knowledge and the financial resources to do
Yes.
something like this in the physical. Nobody has been at those two junction points to be able to do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, I hope we get over this whole, COVID thing quickly, so that we can get back to business and get back to life in this country, in the world, not only in the country, but in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, it comes down to each one of us and our own journey. And so Ormus is going to help everybody's journey in the 4 states of being: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. And then you go through your own life walk, and you're like in a little bubble of understanding and your frequency, and your frequency is just how you be, okay? There's like 1,000 ways of being: helpful, critical, judgmental, supportive. And whatever way of being, you can be up to 3 ways of being at one time. We can't seem to handle more than that. But these are the frequencies that you put out. Back to what Tesla said, everything is a frequency.
Everything is a frequency. Yes.
Including our way of being. And so you're going to be able to help yourself. Because in the end, that's all you've got is yourself. You know the statement, I'm the government, I'm here to help you.
Yeah. The most dangerous thing in the world to hear. Yes. Yeah. The most dangerous words in the world. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yeah. It's really interesting when you think about that, because when I was studying biomedical engineering in the Air Force, we went all the way through the frequencies, and we have the the bands of visible light, and then we go all the way up into X-ray, into the bands that we know we can't even see, and then we have the audible frequencies, the sound, the sounds that we can hear, all within the sounds that we can hear. But then there are subsonics that we can't hear, and there are supersonics that we can't hear, and there is really scientifically, if a frequency, if a number exists mathematically, there's no reason for it not to exist in reality. And so therefore, it just stands to reason that when you get to the frequencies that are even higher than the what, gigahertz, terahertz, I don't even know what you would call it. Petahertz, I don't even know what the words are when you get that high, right? A zigahertz, I guess, right? There's, right, exactly, zigahertz. But there are even frequencies above that. There are even ranges above that. And then when you can break, we may not even be able to conceptualize it, but on the other side of that, there's a whole new reality. There's a whole new realm of existence. There's a whole new sense of what is physical matter and what's not. There's a whole new sense of everything. And, I believe when we die, we go there. We go there.
There's a divine spark of life in us.
Yeah.
And that does not. That doesn't have a timestamp.
It doesn't have a timestamp. It doesn't have a timestamp. It has, that internal. I was looking at a video from KRS-One, and he said, say the word rock star in your head. Now think about the voice you just heard. That's your voice. You recognize it. It's only one volume, right? You can whisper it to yourself. You can yell it to yourself, but you're only going to hear it in your head as one volume. And that voice, could that voice be you, or could you be the listener? You are simultaneously the hearer and the listener, and that part of you that has that experience, that can have that internal dialogue as well as external experience, that part of you has existed before you had this body. And therefore, that part of you, that part that is experiencing life itself, is going to exist after you die. It is both terrifying and reassuring, because it's reassuring because you know that you're not going to die, that you're an eternal, energetic, spiritual essence that is now experiencing a human experience. And then comes the questions, what's next, right? You got to ask what's next. You got to, no matter who you are, you got to wonder what's next, right?
We'll know soon enough.
Yeah.
Another analogy about that underlying what is us is when you go to sleep and you wake up, the thing that crosses your mind, whether you're aware of it or not, is, did I have a dream? And if you think about that, did I have a dream? What part of you wasn't sleeping to be able to say the next morning, there's some part of you that didn't sleep.
That's right.
It wasn't physical.
That's right. That's right. And can be awake but never get tired.
Exactly.
Right? It never gets tired. You can be mentally fatigued and not be physically tired. Right? But that part of you, that ever-present consciousness, that spirit, that core of, it's not even that. It's the core of consciousness. It's the essence of you is always there. And I've had dreams where I know for a fact that I was in another place, another metaphysical place, and that the place really exists somewhere in the universe, and perhaps, right, and I can revisit those places in later in subsequent dreams. I have no control over that, but it has happened. I mean, I have woken up in a dream or experienced a dream where I was in a place that I've been before, and it's kind of Earth-like, but it's definitely not a place that exists on Earth. I've witnessed things that I've witnessed technologies that we have yet to develop on this Earth, right? And this humanity has yet to develop. But I've seen spectacular displays of I guess we would call it aircraft, but they were definitely manufactured craft, moving in formation, much like they did when I was in the Air Force, but not bound to the same conventions of aircraft as we know them. It's like they have to move in a straight line, But I've seen that. I have vivid memories of that, and as a visual artist, I think at one point I'm gonna have to sit down and start making some surrealist paintings and try to recapture that, because I think I may be able to connect with other human beings. I think there may be other people who could look at that and go, hey, wait a minute, I've visited that place in a dream too.
And therein lies a keyhole. When each of us down here are here with our own goals and our own interests and our own purpose, although most of us aren't aware of our purpose, and therefore our own level of drive. Some people are just here to experience the physical. I am one who looked at my life down here as visiting an amusement park.
Yeah.
And I'm here to enjoy or experience. Some of them aren't enjoyable, but if I look back, they probably had a reason. I can see a reason for them. But it's all an amusement park that I'm in, and when it's 5 o'clock, some people have to leave the amusement park early. Some can stay late for the concert that starts at 9. Some have to be home to make dinner for the family, or So we all leave the amusement park at different times. That's always been my analogy of being here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I also subscribe to there being a higher power. I call it God.
Yes.
And I love the fact that there is. I love the fact that he made this beautiful amusement park. And so I want to do good here. I want to assist in building.
Yes.
Building up people, making things prettier as I'm able, or more efficient or better. I don't want to tear down. I don't want to tear down people. I don't want to tear down things. I don't want to, and you could call that being mean or being evil.
No.
Because I love what God has done. I appreciate, and I have great gratitude.
Yeah.
And so that's the level first when people come to a higher understanding, is where they lay on that line. And I would hope that with understanding, people would say, yeah, having, being here for actions that don't build up, they don't feel good, they're not peaceful, they don't give me rest, and so I'm going to lay those aside because they're not working to create a workable life.
And it's really sad how many people are like that. They don't.
Along those lines, in the Ormus Academy, in one of the learning modules, it's called The Hero's Journey. And that is further articulated as to what are the benefits of being one who assists in building, not tearing down. What are the benefits to you? And there are like 10 benefits that add to your life by being a supporter of assisting or building or good works.
Now, can you tell the listeners how to find the Ormus Academy?
The easiest thing is go to Google and type in Ormus Academy.
Okay,
because
Google.
It does come up.
Okay.
It is housed at the website emmonsessentialessence.com. And yet Ormus Academy is quicker, easier to imprint.
Okay.
It's on the left side when you open it up on the page, Ormus Academy. There's about 20 modules. And these have been put together with myself and Ormus researchers who've been in the field since the 1990s.
Really?
And the academy is needed because it gives everybody a solid foundation.
Oh, yes.
And then each one will go on their own path. Like I said, we all have different goals and different interests. And so there comes a point where the only thing we can do with each other is say, enjoy your journey. Because I can't go there. That's not my interest. I know someone who's really into Mobius coils and using electronics on them.
Really?
And I can truly only handle so much of the conversation because that's not my interest. I'm interested to know it exists, and so it happens to all of us in every way. We're not taught that because when we start off young, we go to kindergarten, and we're all like little minnows, and then we go to first grade, and we're all in our little pods of first,
Yeah.
second, third, fourth, fifth, and so we haven't been educated that comes a point that we do differentiate from each other.
Yes.
And we can't carry everybody, a person with us. They can't carry us, because it comes to a point where our own goals and interests and purposes for experiencing this world come into play, and so as you get older, very old, it really becomes a solitary journey. You'll have people who share this interest or that interest or this philosophical concept or that, but most of it is just you, yourself, and you walking your path.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a pyramid. The higher you go, the lonelier it gets. The higher you go, the more, not the lonelier, but the more alone you are. You don't feel lonely because you're actually more self-contained and more kind of stronger within. But I totally understand that. But I am glad that the Ormus Academy exists. That's for sure. No.
Yes, because Barry Carter was an excellent librarian of information, and so his website, subtleenergies.com, is a plethora of information, not linked together. Okay, and so you can just go swimming in this information until you get tired at the moment and you have to leave. The Ormus Academy is designed to move you forward module by module by module.
In the organized manner, yeah.
Exactly. And then I don't know if you know that I wrote a book called Ormus, Modern Day Alchemy.
No, I didn't know that.
That book talks about Ormus and details 13 ways to collect it. And it was compiled by myself, Ormus alchemists, such as Don Nance, Ormus researchers, who wish to remain anonymous because they're very old now. And if anybody contacts them, they'll help, but not to the degree they used to, because now they're on their own singular path, call it that. They're older.
Yes.
And Barry Carter. And so we put out this book so that the world would have solid education knowledge in a format that would ensure that it would be around if the electronic formats failed us or were taken down.
Excellent. I'm definitely going to enroll in the academy. Now, when you say 13 ways of extracting it, you're talking about like making it yourself using different salts, right? And lye and stuff like that?
Actually, different methods, because depending on your source material, you're going to need a different method. And basically what we're talking about is as the source material becomes denser, then you need a more energetic process in order to disaggregate it to get the Ormus out of it.
So can you...
There's oil, which isn't dense at all. That's the easiest process, and it's called the live oil process.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's seawater or reconstituted sea, where you'll buy a natural sea salt with no coloring or flavorings or scents, and reconstitute it with distilled water, or you'll draw water from the sea in an appropriate manner. Basically, that means from 25 feet below the top, because that's where the pollutants hang out. And then you'll do a process on the seawater. Now, seawater is very interesting. It's God's science that put the Ormus into the seawater in such a way that it's not aggregated. It's all individualized and surrounded by water molecules.
Wow.
And so you don't need as energetic a process. You're just fracturing the matrix that's holding the Ormus so that it becomes collectible. Then when you get into denser materials like have to physically disaggregate that material to get the ormus out, so you need a more energetic process. And then when you get to things like sands, and you're going to get the ormus out of sands or ash, you have to disaggregate that more aggregated material, so you need a more energetic process.
Wow.
So you go up the line that way, choosing processes based on how densely aggregated your source material is. But for the listener, all that you need to know is the live oil process and the process that works on the seawater, and that process is called the wet process. That gives a very, very good ormus. It's a kitchen chemistry where you add your intention, but the concept is it's not difficult and quite doable by the average person.
Really?
And
Okay.
you don't have to go into these other processes. But it is nice to know they exist. It is nice to understand what they are and why they're doing what they do. But I don't want to scare anybody off by saying these more energetic processes where you add heat or sodium hydroxide in a granular form, and fire that, because all that the average person in the world needs to know is the wet process and the live oil process. And
Live
you are
oil.
good. You're golden.
Okay. Now, how common is it to make ormus using real gold as one of the base materials?
That's where you get into the metals, the copper, the gold, anybody who's working with other metals. Now, these are highly aggregated materials. That's why they're metals. They're dense.
Okay.
So they require a more energetic process, and when something is more energetic, there's always the possibility, especially with gold, which is so highly, it does not want to disaggregate.
Really?
Gold has been known to love itself, is the term that the scientists say. It loves itself so much that it resists disaggregating.
Wow.
And so you have to go to, with metals, a more energetic process, and you have to be sure that you're actually disaggregating as much of the metal as possible, so that the metal isn't in your finished product to any appreciable degree.
Okay. Yeah, I would think gold leaf, right? If I were going to try it, I would try to use gold leaf. That way it's already, is flat and frail as possible, right? Try to get it
Well,
as,
if you Google gold leaf and see the percentage of gold that's in it, it's not that much.
Really?
So you have other
Okay.
metals that are mixed in it. If you're going to do a process on gold, you need to get the most pure gold, and that's called 5 nines, 99999.
Okay.
And that's the purest gold that is out there.
Okay.
That gold has to be specially further refined. I bought some, and I can say that it cost me $300 more an ounce
Wow.
for it, because of the extra refining that went in it to create it. And its use is in industry, in the medical equipment, where the medical equipment has to be the most accurate.
Yes.
Or in these rockets that they supposedly send up into space. The instruments have to be so precise that they need 5-9 golds in the wiring.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I can't advise using 4 nines because it's not as pure as 5 nines.
Wow.
Although I know some do.
Okay. So 5.9 gold. That's good. Thank you. So and we're looking at about $2,000 an ounce, because this gold is presently $1,700 an ounce.
Yeah. And then you'd have to find a refiner that'll do it. The refiner that I used, because of the COVID and so many businesses closing, he's closed. and I had him divide it up into 10 packets.
That's what I was wondering. How many batches would you say you could get out of an ounce of gold?
Well, the first time that you work with the ounce, you're going to be taking out most of the gold ormiform, but some will still be in what's called the dregs, the leftovers. So the second time that you do the process, you'll use a fresh tenth of an ounce and include your dregs. So you're going to get 10. You're going to get 10 collections.
Not bad, not bad. And each collection would last you what, a month or so? Depend on how much you take every day, right?
Yeah, you just don't take much. Some will just take drops.
I do. That's what I do too. I just put a little bit under my tongue. It does the job. It's not the kind of thing that you got to apply Moore's law to it. I don't think that ingesting a whole lot is going to really give me that much more of an effect than what I've come in my experience to determine is enough. And when I take the Ethereum, right, it's already in a capsule. I just open one capsule and put it under my tongue.
That's the best way to take your ormus, is to put it under the tongue. The sublingual vein is under the tongue, and it absorbs from that vein and goes directly into the bloodstream. That's why your nitroglycerin pills for ischemia of the heart are taken under the tongue. It avoids going through the GI tract, where it has to be absorbed. Everything that's absorbed by the stomach is filtered by the liver.
Yep.
And before it gets into the blood. So always under the tongue, and then follow it with about a quarter to a half, as much as you want, but a quarter to a half glass of water, because water and ormus, they're good together, and they help it to get absorbed. Because if you take a small amount and you do swallow, that you'll be swallowing it after you're done, then that small amount has to coat. How much can it coat the walls of the stomach? By adding water into it, it helps it to disperse along the whole stomach.
Nice, yeah.
Walls, and help it to get absorbed.
Yes. Well, this is great information. Thank you so much for calling and joining us. I really appreciate it. And
you're more than welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for the information about the Ormus Academy. I'm definitely going to start studying it, and I'm going to start sharing the process of learning how to create Ormus with the audience. I think that's something. Like I said, it's good that we're able to share this information and spread the light, and get more people to understand what it's like to expand their consciousness and to kind of become more in touch with. Like you said, who we are, what we are as people.
And it also helps your physical body too. Don't forget that.
Yes, it does.
There's that other aspect, which is a whole nother conversation. And it has been enjoyable, and I hope people will retain that you do not need much. Human beings tend to always think, if a little is good, then more is better.
No.
And I know of someone who was taking 3.5 ounces of ormus from the wet process, the ormus collected from the seawater, every day. And it wasn't working well for him. And so, at the end of it all, he said, I've learned my lesson. And so what do normally people take are drops, 1/8 of a teaspoon, 1/4 of a teaspoon. Many people take a 1/2 a teaspoon.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Twice a day.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, I've got a really tiny spoon. I mean, a really, really tiny sampler spoon or something. I don't know what you would call it, but that's all I use under my tongue, and that's it.
I think those sampler spoons. I make soap. I make ormus soap. And those little teeny little sampler spoons that they sent with the colorant was 1/8 of an ounce.
Like an eighth, yeah.
Well, it's been enjoyable, Devin. Thank you for the conversation.
Thank you very
and I
much.
hope that we've helped your listeners.
You
I
have.
really hope that they recognize that you are a resource of information, and I am also. I'm easily reached, and so are you.
Yes, and if you want, give us your website or contact information or anything for the listeners to get in touch with you.
Well, you can easily contact me at the website, EmmonsEssentialEssence.com.
Emmons Essential
And if you
Essence.
go to Google and you look up Ormus Academy and click on it, that's going to take you to the website. And then over to the right is contact.
Ormus Academy, okay? And I'm definitely going to start taking my Ormus Academy classes today. But thank you. Thanks again for calling. I really appreciate it. And stay blessed.
Have a great day or evening.
You too. Have a wonderful weekend, too.
Okay, Devin. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. That was great. We've had a great live 2-hour session with thank you guys, Intimid, Marlene Graves, thank you, Reallythone, all of you. I really appreciate you joining. We've had a really good session today, and I'm going to be making Ormus. I'm going to start making my own Ormus, and I'm going to buy some of this gold, some of this 5/9 gold to make it out of, and show you how to do this. That's it, and I think right now I'm going to have to start tending to some clients. I would like everyone to stay kind, because kind is the new sexy. Stay blessed and stay healthy. Thank you for watching BiomedRx TV. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, okay? And remember to tune in on Sunday, right, for our Sunday live or Sunday stream, okay, at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Thank you once again for watching BiomedRx TV. Have a blessed day.